afternoon and welcome back to PMLC Global Nexus. I am your host, Dr. Susie Joseph. And as we are still in the midst of this holiday season, we wanted to extend our gift to you and invite you to take a meaningful pause, to breathe, to reflect, and to reset how you show up as a leader. The end of the year offers a powerful opportunity to release what no longer serves us and intentionally prepare for what's next. So, for this season, we're hosting a special introduction of the Holiday Reset with our guest, who is the founder of the Leader mini series, which will be launching January 7th, 2026. With that being said, this holiday reset session is designed to support leaders who are navigating change, closing out a demanding year, and preparing themselves and their teams for a new season with clarity, presence, purpose, and heart. We're honored to be joined today by Michelle Cooksey, the founder of the Be Light Company, LLC, where she coaches and consults senior corporate leaders to lead consciously and live fully. With over 20 years of leadership experience in the healthcare industry, Michelle has led roles spanning across operations, manufacturing, quality, project management, and change management, as well as strategic planning. She has been a busy lady. She currently leads with a Fortune 9 company, guiding teams through complex business transformations, and is known for her ability to create processes and systems that drive sustainable results. Michelle is also an award-winning coach and leader who teaches the value of relationships because true connections lead with greater impact, less effort, and more aligned results. Michelle also holds a Master of Public Administration in Healthcare and is a certified project management professional. Her career began as a journey from an ego-driven leader who experienced severe burnout to a conscious leader who leads with heart and integrity. Through years of personal work, she has embraced modalities that deepen self-awareness and self-love, bringing true peace and purpose to her work. Her most transformative tool is hypnobreath work, in which she became certified in 2023. Today, she uses this method to help her clients to release those suppressed emotions and refrain from unlimiting beliefs and take aligned action toward their goals and dreams. And I would like to welcome here with me today, Michelle Cooksey, the founder of the Be Light Company, LLC. How are you, my dear friend?
Thank you. I'm so good. It's so good to see you. And this is such a full circle moment because we met in 2019 and here we are. We met at a BMI conference.
You sure did. We sure did, and a fun one it was. And that actually is the city of brotherly love, isn't it? And we just shared. Oh, that was so fun. That was so fun. You're absolutely right. Full circle, and here we are again. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead, Michelle, and allow you to take control of our platform today and share with us the information that you have regarding the mini series coming forth in January of 2026. So take us away.
Thank you so much. And I want to start with a gratitude practice today. It's something that I use with all my teams, usually in our weekly meetings. And what we know about gratitude is that it is scientifically linked to happiness. So when we're showing gratitude and in the feeling of gratitude, our emotional vibration actually rises. And especially when we're in the company of others who are showing gratitude. So it's been an effective tool for me. So this morning, I started my day with a breathwork session as I usually do. And what came up this morning in that session was today's session with you all, and that I'm just so grateful that I get to do this work, and that I get to be helping leaders. So I want to go to you now. And if you could just drop one thing in the chat that you're grateful for today. Let's raise the vibe. Let me make sure I can see the comments. Well, I don't think I'm connected to the chat, but I hope you are showing the gratitude in the chat. And before we jump into what I'm going to be sharing today, I also wanted to mention that I've got a free newsletter that I write every single week on Sundays that's geared especially towards leaders. It's an intuitive note that I write to you each week, and that's also where I share my latest offerings. So if you want to connect with me, that's really the best way to do that. I do respond to all the emails I receive, and we've put a link here for you to go and subscribe to that. And I promise you, I'm not the kind of person that spams you with multiple emails a week. It's just one every Sunday. Sunday is my favorite day of the week, and I just love to sit down and write an intuitive note to you. So I hope you'll find value in that and connect with me there. So today I'm just going to share a little bit about my story, and then we'll talk about the leader series as well. I'm going to talk about hypno breathwork, which Susie mentioned in my intro. So I've been in corporate leadership roles since I was 23 years old, fresh out of college, and I have done everything from drug manufacturing, operations, quality, change management, project management, of course, strategic planning, all in the healthcare space. And early on in my career, I experienced severe burnout as a leader that left me with body rashes, thinning hair, and the toll on my body, plus just the emotional fatigue I experienced, led me to quit my job, where I had been in a leader role for about 6 years. So I worked in drug manufacturing at the time, and I led a team of about 30 people in a busy operational environment where quality of our product was always top of mind. It was the most important thing. And I worked about 10 or 12-hour days regularly, and sometimes 6 or 7 days a week, depending on the workload. And the thing about that time in my life is I had zero boundaries. I allowed people to call me and text me at all hours of the day or night. I felt like I had to immediately respond. And work was my number one priority. And my goal was always just to people please, just to please my bosses at any cost. And I was what you would call, I guess, a true company girl. And I bragged about it. It was a thing for me. I was so full of ego at the time. All my personal relationships were failing. And on top of this, I was a horrible boss. I was a micromanager. I was rigid, and I held my team to expectations that they would never be able to meet because I was a perfectionist. They didn't have to be, but I put that on them. I didn't care about them. I only cared about our performance. And so about 5 years into this role, I began to become aware of things. We were performing well in our business, but I finally noticed that my team wasn't happy and that the morale was terrible. And so one day I asked my assistant if she could come into my office to talk to me. And I just asked her straight up. I was like, can you promise to be honest with me? And she said yes. And so I went on to ask her what was going on. Why is the team so unhappy? Why does it feel so bad around here? And she looked at me and hesitated a bit, but I said, please tell me. And she said, Michelle, you don't even say good morning to them. You walk in here every morning with your head down and you go straight to your office and you don't even acknowledge them. I was mortified and so ashamed of my behavior. I was so embarrassed. I really didn't know at that point how I was going to go on. But over the next year, I persevered. I did everything I could think of, recognition and rewards. I did breakfasts and lunches. And you better believe that I said good morning to every single person every single day. And I started to try to get to know them, and I started to try to show appreciation to them. But as much as I tried, it was just too late. And by this time, I was so burned out that I had to make the very difficult decision to just leave my job and to leave my team. And that was a hard time in my life. And this time of burnout was pivotal. It was pivotal because it was a time of self-discovery. It was self-love, self-acceptance for me. And at this time, I really had to face myself. I had to let my ego die. And then I was able to learn empathy and how to care for others. But first, I had to learn how to take care of myself. And so I started therapy. I got into yoga. I read every self-help book I could get my hands on. And I did everything I could to learn how to take care of myself and how to love myself. And I was very intentional about my healing because through this experience, I learned this very important thing that it was never about my team. It was always about me. And that's so true of any team. It's never about your team. It's always about you as the leader. And so I promised myself that if I ever got another opportunity to lead again, that I was going to do things very differently. And as I've gotten the opportunity to lead multiple teams throughout the last decade, whether it was through project teams or leading an actual team of my own, I'm proud to say that I have done it differently. I've built teams who are bought in, who trust, who feel safe to be vulnerable. We do gratitude practice, and teams who know it's okay to make mistakes because that's how we learn and grow together. And that's something that's very different about me now. So I've built teams who work hard, they're efficient, we get things done. I've built teams who have the rapport of a team that our partners really want to work with. And it's all because what I truly believe of the way that I take care of myself. Because I take care of myself, I now have the capacity to take care of my teams and to serve them. I can give them the kind of support they need. And in turn, we have great culture and we have amazing working relationships. And so that's a little bit about my burnout story. And something that has been really transformative in my life in the last few years is hypnobreathwork. And I found hypnobreathwork a few years ago in a mastermind that I was a part of for entrepreneurs. And honestly, I wish I had had it way back when I was going through that burnout, because it's been said that one breathwork session is equal to 2 years of talk therapy. So I want to tell you a couple stories about hypnobreathwork and how it's changed my life, because it's something that I'm going to be using as part of the Leader Series, which I'm going to talk about shortly. So my first session has still been my most powerful session to date. I was a part of that mastermind for entrepreneurs where Francesca Sitma, who is the creator of hypnobreathwork, came in to lead us in a session. And during the session, I saw my higher self. I saw all the possibilities and opportunities in front of me, and I got an intuitive action step. So my teacher, Francesca, uses the word efficient to describe herself, and it's also evident in this practice that she's created. So with hypnobreathwork, we combine the breath with light hypnosis, I promise it's not scary, and vocal cues in order to inspire visioning, which then leads us to an intuitive action step. And Francesca teaches that you should do a breathwork session each day and that you should take the action steps you get as soon as possible. So efficiency, right? And what happens when you do that is that you begin to see things manifest quickly in your life. And I am living proof of that. So what was most powerful about that first hypnobreathwork session is that I learned about my inner voice, my intuition. And that was something that I had never been in touch with before. And this really began my journey to trusting myself. So there is a past version of me who I always relied on others to help guide me. And this version of me didn't always trust myself. This version of me was a people pleaser. And I'd ask everyone around me before I'd make a decision. It was crippling. And with hypnobreathwork and my tool belt, I now confidently make decisions. I confidently walk in my path, and I never question my gut because of how connected it makes me feel to myself. It has expanded my leadership in so many ways. It helps me be better in my work. I use it to help me be creative when I need ideas for content or for a talk like today, just that little boost of confidence and maybe some different ideas that I could use. I use it to help me make decisions about team members and projects and things at work. And probably the biggest thing that hypnobreathwork has done besides helping me get in touch with myself is that it helps me calm my nervous system, which is so, so important in a time like right now, right? The holidays, when we're just so overstimulated. It helps me self-regulate. It helps me manage my stress. I think most of us as project managers are probably type A types. And so if I'm having a day where my thought patterns are incoherent and I'm frustrated, I can just drop into a breathwork session and come out just feeling like I have so much clarity. and like I have a path forward. And on top of all this, it helps me to be in the moment. It helps me to be present and to feel into my purpose and to all that I'm doing in my life. And I mean, what's more important than that, really? When we're able to live in our purpose and just have so much clarity, it feels so good. Like the way I felt this morning after that breathwork session, where I just felt so grateful for this work that I get to do. And I get to be on this call today, the day after Christmas, with a group of leaders. Like, it's just so amazing. And it's called breathwork because it is work. It's an incredible about 20-minute session that helps you release suppressed emotions and reframe limiting beliefs. It helps you get to the root cause of all those things that you do or that you say that you've been programmed to do or believe since you were young. So all those subconscious beliefs and patterns that you've learned from your caretakers, your parents, your grandparents. And then what the hypnobreathwork does is it helps us reframe those things into positives. So I want to share one more story with you about another powerful session I had, and it has to do with my leadership. So a few years ago, when I certified to be a hypnobreathwork coach, we were led through an inner child session. I don't know if I'm going to do this yet to you guys in the leader series, but it's a super powerful session. So in this session, I saw my 2-year-old self standing next to my mother, who was holding my newborn baby brother. And my mom told me, "This is your baby brother. He's your baby. Always protect him. Always take care of him." And so what the breath showed me in that session is that I have internalized this since I was 2 years old. So for the last 40 plus years, I've made it my priority to take care of everyone else around me, not just my brother, but everyone else. I've made it my priority to always be in charge and to always be the leader. And maybe some of you resonate with that. So my action step out of that session was to call my mom and to tell her about the session. And I'm just like, oh man, I don't want to do this. And of course I call her and she's so confused, and her reaction was to apologize. But I assured her that that wasn't what I was looking for, that what I saw in my vision and the visioning part of that breathwork session was actually a closer relationship with her. And let me tell you, I love my mother dearly. But for some reason, I've always just kind of kept this distance with her and not let her fully into my world. And, you know, as a mom, all she wants to do is be part of my life and to support me. And so now we're working on that. We're working on being closer as mother and daughter. And so 2 powerful things came out of that session. One was the pathway to a closer relationship with my mom. And as fate would have it, unfortunately, we lost my dad last year. And my dad was the center of our universe, of our family. And so mom and I are really healing. We're leaning on each other. I'm learning empathy and patience, and we're growing. And the second lesson was with my leadership, and that I'm still, even after all this self-care, all this work, I'm still learning to let go and to allow others to take the lead. I'm learning that it's okay to relax and to find peace and trusting others, especially my husband, and just letting him take the lead in our life. And I'm learning that it's okay for me not to be the leader in every part of my life. And so hypnobreathwork is such a powerful tool that we will be using, and just another way that I've learned how to take care of myself. Because I truly believe that self-care, you know, yeah, it can be a massage, it can be this or that. But I think what self-care really is, and the way that we become able to love ourselves, is those little things that we can do for ourselves every day that brings us a little bit of joy. If it's 5 minutes, if it's a whole hour, it's just those little things that can bring us joy that we intentionally do every single day. And so that's part of what I'll be teaching in the Leader mini series, which I just launched registration for. It's going to be an immersive leadership journey for senior leaders kicking off in January. It's going to be 6 weeks total, starting on January 7th. And what we're going to do is we're going to meet each week and work on you. We're going to work to expand your leadership. We're going to work to help you build teams who are bought in and high performing. And it will be a safe space to share openly and to learn and grow together as leaders. And a lot of the things I'm going to teach are actually things that I've learned from my time as a project manager. And one of the most important ones is building relationships and then efficient processes, right? And then, of course, like I said, I'm going to incorporate the breath work into a few of the sessions to help you process as we work through different topics, such as letting go of the ego, which I had to do. So if you are a leader of a team, if you're a senior manager, director level in a company, or if you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business and have a team, this will be great for you. If you're struggling with a team who's not engaged or bought in to your vision, this will be great for you. If you want to just start fresh in the new year, this is going to be great for you. I think most of the leadership trainings that we do in our corporate settings are mandated and rigid in approach. And I think I can't think of one single corporate training, I'm trying to think as I'm talking, that has ever made an impact on my leadership or that has ever helped me become a better leader. And I think that's the difference with things like the Leader Mini Series. I have invested thousands of my own dollars in programs like this, just trying to better myself and be the best leader that I could possibly be. And those are the kind of things that I usually find value in versus the mandated trainings in a corporate setting. And lastly, it's just so very important to me to help leaders who are struggling because I've been there and I know there's a better way that we can serve ourselves and our teams. And it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. It really doesn't. And it's really my ministry to teach leaders how to care for themselves, how to make real impact through self-awareness, authenticity, integrity, and vision. And so I hope you'll join me in January. And I think we're dropping a couple of links here. And it's such a pleasure to be here with you today. And I'm so very grateful.
Wow, that's awesome. That is so awesome. We do have a couple questions for you, Michelle. One is, as the leaders prepare for the new year, what's the most important mindset shift that they should make when leading through like ongoing changes and uncertainty?
Yeah. I think the biggest, most powerful mindset shift that happened for me was when I learned how to be in a gratitude mindset. Because like I said in the beginning, it is scientifically linked. All the research shows that it raises your vibe. It raises, it's linked to happiness. And I think once I really learned how to be grateful and like truly be in the feeling of gratitude for every little thing, that's when things started to shift to the positive for me. Because there's an old version of me who was consistently very negative and I always looked at the bad and I could never see past all of the bad. I could never see the positive. And once I started intentionally having a daily gratitude process, it totally shifted my mindset.
I agree with that. One of the things that Dr. Jimmy and I talked about earlier this month in December during our webinar for the PMO People Leadership First is how we have to actually embrace that when people do arrive and when they do show up, that they're bringing their entire selves into, this great big body of work that we're doing, whether it be to deliver a presentation or if we're working on said deliverables for a client or within an organization. And one of the things that I really enjoyed hearing you speak about today was around how you tapped into that inner child and had to go deeper to understand what were some of those root cause issues that showed up in your daily performance as a leader. So how can leaders practice how to release these old patterns or habits that no longer serve them while still honoring the lessons learned from a challenging year? Because they've had previous years that may have been challenging, but how do we get to a place where we can actually look at how to release in a healthy way, right?
Yeah. Yes. It's one thing. The first thing I want to say is it takes practice, right? It took me probably 10 years to get to the point where I had a good practice around some of this stuff. And then I found hypnobreath work, and that's been the most pivotal, most transformative practice. But I think the thing that I started doing was just start small. Don't overwhelm yourself, but just like if you can write one thing you're grateful for in a journal or on a piece of paper or something every day, or have it in front of you on your computer or whatever, just if you can try to get into a gratitude practice that's consistent, even if you're not feeling it like the first couple of weeks or even maybe a month or maybe a year, and you're like, this is stupid, why am I doing this? Eventually, I promise you, you'll start to feel it, and then things start shifting around you and you're like, holy crap, how did that happen? So that's, I think, the gratitude practice. If folks can take part in the leader series, we're going to be doing some of those hypno breathwork sessions, and the hypno breathwork is just so powerful. So that's obviously the other practice that I use.
Awesome. I know my mom, I'm just thinking, she has these Post-it notes that she just sticks like all over the house with different like Bible scriptures on them. So every single room you go into, like on the mirrors in the bathroom, by the front door, when you go to her house, it's like walking through Post-it City, because all you see is just these Post-it notes with the Bible scriptures. So I think that is a really good practice to help one to make that mindset change, because if it's constantly before you, then it's always in your face that yes, this is the positive, the direction, that we're actually heading. So for leaders who, sorry.
No, you're good. There was I was just going to mention, I don't know why this is on my heart to share, but I think a lot of us in these kind of positions, as leaders, we don't realize how hard we are on ourselves, and we don't realize how much we actually don't love ourselves. And gratitude has been one of the ways that's helped me come back to myself and actually learn how to love myself. So, and I know people, when I post about self-love or self-care, it's like, cringe, like gross, but it's such a powerful thing to love yourself as a leader. And when you can do that, then it just resonates with your whole team, and everybody else is like, oh, well, I'm worthy too, and I can do good work and I can serve. So
that's
powerful.
true. And you become like the compass for what it means to have work-life balance, or just to have that balance in place overall. And I think that, even I really don't want to call them subordinates, but team members, just team members, just that we they get to a different, example of what that really looks like and how healthy it can be when you set those healthy boundaries in place. This is really powerful. So for
when you have a team that they come to work and they love what they do. Yes. It's not like, oh, we don't have to do this today. It's like, oh, we get to do this today. We get to work together. That's the most rewarding thing.
All over again, like one big happy family, right? So for leaders seeking a more heart-led and intentional approach, what is, besides just like, writing the daily gratitudes, the hypno breath work that we kind of practiced a little bit today, what is one other daily practice, if you don't mind sharing, that you would actually recommend to stay grounded and aligned amid the competing deadlines that we face every day?
Yeah, I think it's just getting in touch with yourself and being intentional about doing that at least once a day. Whether that's 5 minutes, whether it's 3 minutes, whether it's a whole hour, whatever you can do on a daily basis to just get in touch with yourself, get quiet for a minute, and find some joy in your day. Just do one thing that's for you. Like for me, I wake up, I do like this whole thing, like lemon water, vitamins, all that. And then I get to have my cappuccino, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's my favorite thing about my day is I get to have my cappuccino and I get to sit with my 2 little dogs, and just, that's my time. And I know, there's a lot of busy parents out there, and they're probably just like, what? I don't have 5 minutes in the day. But it's about being intentional, about showing yourself some love and giving yourself just a little bit of joy. If it's 3 minutes and it's just like you're listening to your favorite song for 3 minutes, like whatever it is, just find that one thing and start small. Again, don't overwhelm yourself with like, oh, I have to journal, I have to read 20 pages of this book, and I have to listen to this podcast. Like, just start with one thing. That's what I would say.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome advice. So again, we've got this leadership series coming up on January 7th. That's our kickoff for the JMC Leader Mini Series. We hope that you all will join. The link is scrolling across the bottom for those of you that would like to reach out at jmichellecooksky.myflowdesk.com/leader mini series. And we'll be dropping this in the link on our PMLC business page throughout LinkedIn, as well as YouTube and Facebook. So again, it's the JMC, the Leader Mini Series. It kicks off January 7, 2026. It is 6 weeks of live coaching and HypnoBreath. Michelle, any other insights that you want to share about HypnoBreath for those that are not as familiar or have never heard the term before?
Yeah, I think just I think what I've been emailing out for all the folks who have joined is like, just come with an open mind and don't expect rigid agendas or, PowerPoint presentations like we're used to. This is going to be a very intuitive led series. We're going to meet once a week for 90 minutes. You're going to be in a extremely safe container with other leaders who are going through the same thing. And the Hypno Breathwork is just a way to help you release. And I'm going to encourage vulnerability. I'm going to encourage sharing. And we're just going to learn and grow together. And I think if anybody has questions, if they're on the fence, if they're like, I don't know if I want to do this or not, they can email me at thebelightco@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to answer absolutely any questions that anyone has. So. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And just the Hypno Breathwork sessions are about 20 minutes. We're not going to do them every week, but we'll do them intermittently as needed. Really, it's like I said, it's going to be intuitively led, and I'm just going to trust the flow of the group. So, but yeah, I would love for folks to register. We kick off January 7th.
Awesome. All right. So if you would like to contact or reach Michelle Cooksky, her contact information is also flowing across the screen here at thebelightco@gmail.com. So it's thebelightco@gmail.com. And again, just want to reiterate the Sunday email, the link there, if you would like to get a copy of the Sunday email, it is going to be located as well at jmichellecooksky.myflowdesk.com/subscribe, where you can subscribe there to receive a copy of the Sunday email, where Michelle is giving out golden nuggets every Sunday for us. We are so honored and so thrilled to have you to come and join us today. And we really appreciate you sharing your insights and thoughts, as well as expertise, and introducing us to something new, HypnoBreath. Looking forward to that.
Powerful. Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor, and it's such a cool, like I said, full circle moment. I loved it. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you again for joining us, Michelle, and we will definitely be talking to you soon. Thank you so much. For those of you that are interested as well in our project management exam prep training, we do have a flash sale going on for today and today only. For $199 USD per person. We will be taking this down at 11:59 p.m. tonight. So we just wanted to offer our Christmas presents and gifts to you by slashing that price yet another 50% for 24 hours. We've been doing this all day today. Seats are filling fast. This will end today. $199 USD per person is our flash sale for 24 hours, ending tonight at 11:59 p.m. for the PMP exam prep training. This is for the current version of the PMP exam that we're prepping for. Remember, again, we want to take advantage as the new PMP exam prep content will drop in April, and the new exam will be released in July of 2026. You can go to www.pmi.org for more information there. And for our training, you can visit us for more information at PMLC, training at PMLC Learning Center, or www.pmlearningcenter.com. And of course, our phone number is also scrolling across the screen if you want to call one of our agents to get more information, at area code 858-333-5568. And again, this is just to remind you guys, our gift to you, the flash sale, 24 hours ending tonight for the PMP exam prep. Again, we wanted to focus today on the JMC, the Leadership Mini-Series that kicks off January 7th. That leadership series, you can register. We encourage you to register at the Leader Mini-Series. The link provided below, jmichellecooksky.myflowdesk.com/leader mini series is where you can register. Again, we're starting fresh January 7th, 2026. Also, if you would like to subscribe, for the Sunday email, that email registration link is jmichellecooksky.myflowdesk.com/subscribe, and that will give you access to the Sunday email. And if you would like to contact our guest again via email, jmichellecooksky, her contact information, the Be Light Co, C-O, belightco @gmail.com. So again, the THEBELIGHTCO @gmail.com. It was really our pleasure. What an honor to have her here with us here today to share all this wonderful, exciting new information. So as we close out, we are grateful again to have you join us today and spend this time investing in yourself and your leadership. Let's begin this year great together, and we welcome you back in January to join us on January 10th as well. For our webinar series kicking off in 2026 with Dr. Jimmy and I at 7 p.m. So posts are out there on the PM Learning Center business page on LinkedIn, as well as the website. It'll be coming up soon there for you to register, but we hope to see you all back again. And we are going to sign off for the year, wishing you all happy holidays.